This is a video book review from the National Writing for Children Center, and today I'm going to be talking about two books that are related, but they're a little bit different, and they're both called Gobi. This one's called Finding Gobi, an inspiring tale for young readers, and then the rest of the book title is The True Story of One Little Dog's Big Journey. But there's also the picture book version, which is called A Little Dog with a Big Heart, Gobi. And this is an advanced reader copy, so I don't have the actual picture book here, but you can kind of see what it looks like. I'm not sure though if it says the final book will be a jacketed hardcover, so keep that in mind that the final cover is hard copy. So you'll see Gobi, and if you look at the real picture of Gobi, they've done a cute little illustration of the dog. And in this version, we see that this little dog lives out in the Gobi Desert, and she's saying, maybe today I'll find a friend. But then a strange noise in the distance made her ears perk up. I'm going to chase that noise, the little curious dog decided. She took off racing across the sandy dunes. And I like the double page spreads here, and the text is easy to read and easy to follow, and I think kids will fall in love with a little dog. Now, then on the next page it says, a man named Dion stretched his strong leg muscles and checked his supplies one last time. He and hundreds of others were getting ready to run a race across the Gobi Desert that took 7 days to complete. He had trained long and hard and was ready to go. Pop, the starting gun fired. Dion took off racing across the sandy dunes. So as he's racing across, and you'll notice that each page here is a double page spread, which I just love picture books that are done in double page spreads because it's so nice for kids in the back of the room when you're reading to a class or a group of kids in a daycare center or wherever to see the pictures, But this little dog starts following the runner, and he sort of develops, an affection for the dog, and he shares his water with him and does that because it tells you the temperature was 120 degrees, and Dion was so thirsty he gulped down some water and it trickled down his chin and splashed into his shirt. You must be thirsty too. He knelt beside the panting pup and poured water into his cupped hand. She was thirsty too. And there we see. So he decides then to call the dog Gobi after the Gobi Desert because that's where he found her. And so the dog goes racing with him. And this race is 150 miles, so it takes several days to complete. So they're camping out in tents at night, and it gets quite cool in the evening. And now they're sleeping together in the tent under the stars. But then the next day they go out racing and they come to some water, and Dion runs into the water as it pushes against him, and the dog just whimpers from the shore, and she thinks, oh no, my friend is leaving and the water is too deep and rough for me. So she goes, woof woof, meaning please come back. And big puppy tears filled her eyes. Dion was almost gone. But then he looks back and sees the dog's not with him, and he broke his own rule and looked back to see her pacing the shore and barking for him. He had a hard decision to make. He could keep going to win the race, or he could go back to get his friend. And I think that's a nice little lesson for kids to learn as you're reading this. Was it all important to win the race, or was it more important to have a friend and take care of the little dog? So then we see what happens. He goes back, gets the dog, cute little animals here on the side. Love the color palette for both the day and night. It shows the desert. And then they finally finish the race. They didn't win, but they received a medal, and they said they knew they each earned more than medals, though. They had each earned a friend for life. And then the last page tells you the real story, because what happened here is just a little different than what happened in real life, because they wanted to keep this simple for young kids, and I think that's really good. So in this version, for a little bit older readers, it still says an inspiring tale for young readers, we learn about the same thing, how this man named Dion was going to run this 150-mile race in the desert, and he meets this little dog who's just, living out there on his own, and the dog starts running with him, and he decides to kind of adopt the dog and take it back with him to where he lives in Scotland. But we learn in this book that once they'd finished the race and he's going to take the dog home, the dog disappears. And so now he's looking for this dog in a town of, not a town, a city of more than 3 million people. And he just thinks, oh, there's no way I'm going to be able to find this little dog in this huge city. I'm going to have to go home without him. But if you read the rest of the story, you'll find out what happens. And I think kids will love this. It reminds me of that story a long time ago when I was a child. I think it was called The Incredible Journey, where you wonder if these dogs are going to get home, these animals, and you just root for them, and you'll do the same here for Gobi. So I think both of these little books would be great to have in your library. If you've got really young children, get the picture book. If you've got children that are a little bit older, or even you just want to read the book yourself, then you can get this one, Finding Gobi, The True Story of One Little Dog's Big Journey. And these are from Quirk Books, Quirk. You can just go to quirkbooks.com and find out more about them, or use our link to the Amazon.com page that you see below, and you can buy the books right there. So we'd highly recommend both of these books here at the National Writing for Children Center.